Hey team, Chris Parks here, early morning, working in the office from home and just wanting to check in with y'all and just let you know kind of what's going on in the market right now so that you can update yourselves and your customers as you go through the day. First of all, we're not seeing a slowdown at all when it comes to home purchases. This last week I got 4 contracts in over the weekend. Things are moving fairly quickly. We're still seeing a lot of volatility in the market though. And so the big thing that you need to know is today is the Fed meeting. They're having a meeting today and they're going to be discussing policy. I don't know if they're really going to be setting policy today, like raising the base, but everybody's really worried about it. And so you're seeing a major move with the markets. Rates are going crazy. We're seeing them going up, going down, and playing all over the place right now. Really hard to tell where they're going to go, but we kind of anticipate that the trend line is going to be that it's going to be going in an upward direction. The reason why we think that is because inflation. You've seen inflation at the grocery store, you've seen inflation at the gas pump, you've seen inflation in all sorts of places. The projection last year was 9.6% inflation, which what that means to you is that it's really big. This year we're looking at 6%. It's the highest inflation rate we've seen in over 40 years. And so the only way to put any pressure on that is to put interest rates on a higher trend. And as we see higher interest rates on a trend, that's going to push down inflation. Now, the worry is how quickly are they moving? Because I'm going to tell you right now, they're not thinking the Fed's moving fast enough, and they think that it's really getting to be a prolonged situation. Now, having said that, the rate projection January 1st is almost kind of like a dividing line in the good rates and the new rates. The new rates, or the rates prior to January 1st, were in the 2s, 2.8, 2.7. Since then, we have seen a dramatic increase, almost 1 full percentage point in the last 25 days. This is a pretty big news, and here's why it applies to you. You really need to pay attention to this. If you don't hear anything else I say and everything else is blah, 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 this is the important piece that you need to hear. Number one, if you had anybody who's been pre-approved in the last 3 weeks, prior to 3 weeks, they need to get pre-approved. The reason I say that is interest rates have bumped people out of contention. I got 4 contracts over the weekend, but I had about 10 people trying to negotiate contracts. 3 of those no longer qualified because the rates had gone up so much and they were right on the border with it that they were no longer able to buy that $250,000 house. Now they had to start looking at lower price ranges. That's a problem because we all know that $250,000 houses are kind of like the name of the game right now. And so this is a really big thing for the first-time home buyer. Many of them are going to be disappointed. Many of them are going to think that we're out there to rob them, but we're really not. What you're running into is that inflation is actually pushing things up. The projection as of right now is that the Fed's going to raise the base probably up to 4 times this year. What that means to you is that the rates that you're seeing right now in the high 3s, low 4s, for certain programs are going to start going up progressively as well. That means that by the middle of April, more than likely, we're going to be sitting in the 4s for sure, and towards the end of the year, closer towards the high 4s, low 5s. Hard to say exactly where we're going, but inflation is really pushing this up. So anyway, just a word for you out on the street. Just make sure that people know that the housing market really is not changing. It's still a great place to safeguard your money when it comes to inflation, whether you're an investor or you're an owner-occupant. And it's a great place for you to create a home. So obviously you need somewhere to live. Now, having said that, inflation is a big deal, but the way to safeguard your money is through going this way. Anyway, Chris Parks here, McLean Mortgage. We're so glad to have a part in this meeting, and don't hesitate to let us know how we can best serve and help.